What's up, guys? So today we are going to do a walk animation. I've recorded this video 4 times almost, 3, 4, I forgot. I screwed up both times. The first time I made a 2-hour long video because I had no idea what I was doing. The second time I ended up not recording my voice the whole time, which wouldn't have been that much of an issue, but it was an issue. So today, hopefully this goes as planned and we don't mess up at all. So the first thing we're gonna do, if you're just now starting, I'd hope you have a little bit of experience, at least like moving models and crap, because that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be moving things around. And we're gonna do a walk animation, so it's pretty simple. I'm not gonna use this rig. We're gonna go to plugins and we're gonna build a rig, and then we're gonna do an R-THRO because you guys read the title. Okay. So now we go to plugins, animation and I'm pretty sure this comes built in. If it doesn't, then oh well. And I'm gonna close Explorer and properties for now. That'll be useful later. So let's try to make this at least 50-50. And then click the rig, and then we'll call it walk. So now, because we're doing a walk animation, we want to add all. If we were just doing like a salute or eat or sit, we probably wouldn't want to get all of them. But for a walk animation, every part of the body moves. Every part of the body. So it's a little annoying sometimes. And it's going to be 30 long. It's going to be like a realistic. It's not going to be like the crazy, bubbly, cartoony one they have. We're gonna make it look a little more realistic. We're gonna try to do this in under 30 minutes. Let's speedrun this. So the first thing obviously we're gonna want to do is, before we do anything, explain what the heck is going on. You know, we have really crazy stuff, and I hope you know a little bit maybe of animating, but you don't really, you can honestly learn along the way. To animate, we use these things. Mainly we're going to just be rotating body parts, so that's the main tool we use, but we can sometimes use things like the arrows and scale for some things, but I don't think that'd be too useful for animating like this. It's organized because everything is attached in some way, shape, or form to the middle. So if you move the lower torso, you're going to move everything. Say you move the upper torso, which is attached to the lower torso, you're just going to move everything that's attached to the upper torso. You move everything that's attached to this, you move everything. Yeah, that's what we do. So that's how it's organized. So the first thing we're going to do when we're making a walk animation is move the legs. So if we want to move the whole leg, we'll move the left upper leg. If we want to move just this, you know, we'll do that. And then if you just want to move the foot, you know, there you go. If we want to move the whole leg, we're going to move the left upper leg. And we're gonna not go too far because we're not trying to do like a cartoon thingy that they have built in. And we're gonna go to left upper leg. We're gonna move that a little, and then right upper leg we're gonna move. Right here I kind of made it a little too crazy. Let's change it. Let's make it a little stiffer because we're gonna want to make it look like something you'd see on the Abbey Road Beatles album cover. Kind of. We don't want to go too far. We're going to make it as realistic as possible. So, let's go to right upper leg and kind of just keep it like pretty close spaced up from each other. That's a little off. Let's fix this. Alright, there we go. And then, so we see these little dotty dots. These things you can move. They're the keyframes, and these are the things that show. They store the picture that we see right here in them. And then they tween, which is like in between, and moves to another picture. So this is the picture we have right here. This is the keyframe. And then we're going to change this. We're actually going to go over here and select everything, and Control C, and then go to the very end, and Control V. So now we have this. Now if we click loop and press play, it's just gonna be like this, and we don't want to stand still when we walk. So, and around the middle, we can change it and make it a little better, but because this is 30 frames per second, this is the middle. We're just gonna make it exactly opposite to what we have right now. So we're just gonna grab it and move it, you know? Right upper leg, and we'll move that over here. Again, picture the Abbey Road album for the Abbey Road Beatles album cover. So that's in the middle. So now when we press play, it's a walking animation. What? I have a feeling you don't want this stupid, boring, really bad looking, ugly thing. So we'll make it look better. How about that? Do remember that we have to make it look appealing from the angle of other players, which would be about here, and the angle of yourself, which would be around like that, right? Or like this sometimes. So that's just something we have to keep in mind when we're doing all these stupid wonky wonks. So notice how the guy's floating in the air at these parts. So obviously we'll change that by coming over here and then grabbing everything, or we don't need to grab anything. We just need to grab the lower torso, which everything's connected to, and lower so his heel's touching the ground. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just copy, grab everything, and paste it over here. So we kind of stay still the whole time. In the middle, we'll do the same thing. We'll just move it so that way we don't have to change it later. So now he kind of looks like he's stuck in the ground a little, which we'll fix by going to this part, or the part where they're both at least close enough to each other, right here, right? Whatever. We'll come here and we'll just grab his body and lift him up. See? We'll do the same thing. It's right here, maybe. Yeah, right here. We'll do the same thing halfway in between these. So now when we play it, it's even more realistic walk animation. What? It's crazy, isn't it? There's an issue too. His arms are a little stiff. We'll change that. So at the beginning, we'll put his arm a little forward. These arms are usually pretty stiff in real life. In Roblox, they go all the way up here because it's a cartoon game. But if we want to make it realistic, we'll put it there. And then the other arm too. We can't forget about the other arm. Again, remember, Abbey Road album cover. So we'll grab this and bring it over here. So it looks like this. In the middle, we'll just bring it to the exact opposite. So now this is what he looks like when he walks. Make sure the arm is parallel to the leg when you're doing this, moving the arms. So now it's still really stiff. It looks pretty terrible. So at every time the leg is all the way back here, we'll bring it so it's not underground like that. And we'll do the same thing over for this one. The foot is underground, so we'll just, oh, oops. We'll change the leg for now. It's underground, so we don't want it to be underground. And then we need to Control-C or Command-C, and then paste it over here. It looks like he's dragging his feet, though, which we don't want. We can fix that a little bit by bending his legs a little forward more at every footstep. See this one? Ew, ugly. Change it. Still a little stiff. If I saw a guy walking like this on the street, I'd think that guy's weird. So what we'll do is make it so his toes are still a little under. So when his leg's fully extended, we'll put his foot out a little. Make it look like he's pushing off the ground. It makes it a little less stiff, and then when it's here, we'll put the foot like that. Or that's not a good thought to do it. Put the foot stiff like this. The same thing for the other foot. See, we don't want that in the ground. Any part where the foot goes in the ground, we'll fix. The foot go on the ground here? No, but it's not touching the ground. Now it is. Here the feet are out of the ground right here. The deepest point right there. We'll actually move the whole leg for this. Just make sure it's never under the ground, or it's not under the ground completely. So for here, brings his foot forward. For here, we can move the foot up a little forward because he's reaching in for a step. So right here, fix this by just by bending this back. It's a little wrong. I think I messed something up. Yeah. That way it's the same on both sides. Maybe we don't want his foot to reach forward. His foot doesn't need to reach. Just go up if anything. His foot will reach in the tweens. So I'll come over here and do the same thing for this leg. We don't want anything to stay underground, so right here, because his leg kind of drags and goes underground a little right here, what we'll do is at the deepest spot right there, bend his leg up. So now it's a little less weird. And then when he kicks his leg out all the way, we'll bend his foot. Control-C, and then just paste it over here. Check it out. His foot does not bend back all the way over here, though. It still looks kind of stiff. So bend it back a little. Pretty sweet. A little stiff, though. If I saw someone walking like this, I think it would still be pretty weird. So, see, for this leg over here, he reaches in for a step and then steps, and then kicks his leg back, and just kind of slides it. So we don't want it to slide. What we'll do to fix that is kind of boop this even more. See, now he kind of pulls his leg forward. It's more realistic. And we'll do the same thing for the other leg. Make sure he's not, being weird with it. Alright, so if I were right here, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's alright. Most people don't have the world's best posture and have a head that kind of forward like this maybe. It's just automatically more realistic than that. Most people walk like that and not like this. Recall, if you're walking, do you look straight ahead with your head fully perched up? No, it's usually a little more like that. So if we want to make it look realer, that's what we'll do. So at the beginning, we'll put his head back one. And for a second, it's going to look like his head's back the whole time. So what we'll do is in the middle, or not in the middle, we're not going to mess in the middle. Just copy that. So when he takes a step, so we need to watch for when his foot touches the ground. boop, he took a step. So this is the point where his head should go forward a little bit. And it'll come back up right here. And then when he next takes a step right there, we'll send his head forward a little bit again. So now his body looks a little floppier, which is right, because we're floppy people. At the beginning, let's put his upper torso back one. Paste it over here too. And then here we'll put his torso back one. And then when he takes a step, right here, we'll bend his torso like 2. Right here, and then we'll just doop, doop. Something's broken here, so we'll just copy paste. Alright. So see, it looks a little better. You know, he's less stiff, he's floppier now. Which is better. He's supposed to be floppy. So now his arms are still too stiff. Again, if I saw someone walking like this, I think a little less weird maybe, but usually your arms are a little floppier than that. So beginning, we're gonna bend his elbow. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll put it over here. Alright, so when his arm is fully back, we'll bend it back a little bit. Alright, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll bend his arm back a little here. In the middle, we'll bend it forward a little. Alright, so it's a little realer. His head bops forward too much, I think, honestly. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Alright. His head bops forward a little too much, honestly. We can fix that super easy. I'm gonna boop it back. Sure. Something's off, because he comes in and then comes back. He goes back too far, I think. There we go. See? His arms are still too stiff. So we can fix that by going to where his elbows bend and bending them even more. See? His hands should move too. Your hands are not like glued in a stable position unless you have really bad arthritis. So we'll bend it forward like a couple, and then bend it back a little. And right here we'll bend it forward a little at the beginning. We'll bend it back a little. So now let's just copy paste this. So now looks a little more real, to be honest. If I saw a guy walking like this, I think it's a little silly because it's Roblox, but still. His arms could be twisted outward, so that's something we should do. So let's go to the beginning and twist his arm out like a couple. Boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. And then we'll do the same thing for the other arm. Just boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Makes it look a little realer. His elbows are still too stiff. I'm gonna fix them. Oh, that's better. Alright. Check his legs, make sure his legs look pretty good. To be honest, my last walk animation looked a lot better than this, to be honest. Something's jutting. See? There's something different here, so Control C. No. Alright, well. I'm gonna be real with you, his elbows still look too stiff to me. See, you need creative process. There we go, that's a little better. When he brings his arms in, we'll do that. But when he brings it out, we'll do this. And then the same thing on the other arm too, of course. And then see how this looks. Alright. It's a little more rounded. The same thing as his legs, maybe a little bit. Just a little. And then we'll go, oops. See, that looks better. If you think this looks too fast, I think you're kind of crazy, to be honest. So I'm having an issue. With this animation, his legs are way too stiff. You see how he comes forward, he just goes like that too fast. So, to be honest, where his leg bends and starts coming, we should move that forward. See how this looks? It lags behind, sure. So I guess we'll change it a little, why not? Oops. Maybe it's too slow, maybe? Maybe it's a little too slow. See, you just gotta figure out what looks best. That looks pretty good. And then where his foot comes under, which is where's that? See? Let's do it with the other leg too. And then when his leg comes over, it comes under like that. Oh, that's an interesting thing I just found. This leg doesn't poke back over here. No, it should look automatically a lot better. Alright, and then when his leg comes this way, we'll actually move his whole leg back a little. Just the way he kicks back more. There we go. His legs automatically look way better. Let's move his torso a little more. His torso's a little stiff. Easy peasy fixes, just creative process. We'll move it up one here and then up one. Oh wait, it should be the same. Yeah, there we go. Check it out. Looks pretty good. Hands could be fluffy. You see, I notice these little things because it's your brain's really easy at noticing. Your brain's really good at noticing issues in everyday activities. So when it comes to walking, I mean, obviously I'm going to see some issues in that. So to see this hand, I'm going to move the hand up more. And then right here, I'll move it back more. And we'll just Command C that. See how more real it looks when his hands are floppier? That, my friends, is a walk animation if I've ever seen one. In the next video, I'll show you guys how to export it and use it in your game. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Tell me if you need anything else. Bye-bye.